Hello. What's up? This is up. Got some colour on the customer 240Z. It's now residing up here in the shed next to my 240Z because it's already rubbed down and ready to go for colour on the outside. But yeah, that's a colour reveal. Not allowed to say what colour it is because it's a secret. But it's all done in here as well. Insides of the doors are done as well, but they're not on the car because I wasn't quite happy with them, so I redid the outsides. And yeah, they had a little bit of a wobble, which I didn't like, but they were pretty rough doors from the start. So yeah, gonna get into the 240Z a little bit later today, but I've got to do some stuff to the 620 first. Got the little parts are already painted, and we'll take this out in the sun. Yeah, that's the colour. Alright, anyway, in here, the XK is in its more permanent spot now of where it's going to live for a while, because I'll pull the motor out in the next week or two. But yeah, last week on the XK I managed to fix some rust here and up here, and the same on the other side. So yeah, had to fabricate that little section there because that was messy. I'll see if I can find some photos of what I did. I did do a full video, but I didn't put it up because I don't know why. I didn't finish it. Yeah, more 240Z stuff. Yeah, these are the doors. I've redone them. They weren't quite straight enough for my liking, so yeah. They get a prime on Monday and we'll go again. Alright, 620. If anyone was watching my video of my last race meet will know that I was struggling for traction in the back end. So what I've done is I've bought some Bridgestone Potenzas. They're not semi-slicks because I'm not allowed to run semi-slicks in road registered class. So what I've done, yeah, is the Bridgestone Potenzas, and you can feel it. Just feeling them, they feel stickier than what was on there. So yeah, hopefully they'll help a little bit. I know that I'll probably still struggle a bit because it's a bit light in the rear end, but yeah. I was watching a video from Mighty Car Mods about suspension versus tyres on what you should buy first for your track car. And they did a test, two identical AE86 Toyotas or BRZs or whatever. Now they put coilovers on one and Bridgestone Potenzas RE003s on the other one. And the RE003s with stock standard suspension outperformed the coilovers by 3 seconds over a lap. So they can't be bad, they must be good. And then they put the RE003s on the car with the coilovers and they gained another second again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next weekend. I'm racing again, so providing it's not wet, I hope I do good. If I can make up a second at least, I'll be happy. I just got to put some points in it now because the points that are in it are worn out. They're at the end of their life. The little plastic bit that goes on the cam on the distributor shaft is worn down, and they're open as far as I can get them, and they're only just open enough. So new set of points, bit of grease on the shaft, and yeah, we'll do that, and then I'll get back into the 240Z. Points are in and gapped. idling good. It's ready to rip. Sticky tyres, gap points, ready to go. Haven't even taken it off the trailer from last week. It's going to stay there, no point. What a trooper. Poor little J15. Hang on, let me turn this off. That exhaust rattles, that's horrible. I'll fix it one day. Yeah, so it needs more power, as I said last week. Once I put more power into it, I can add some weight back into the back end for extra traction. But I've lightened it up because it doesn't have enough power. Now I've got no traction. See how these tyres work. But as far as motors go, I was going to put the CA20 in that I bought. But to start with, I've got a L16 motor. I think I'll put that in there first. Run that for a while. I mean, they've got about 15-20 more horsepower than what the J15 has, the little L16, and they've got more potential because they're a stronger motor. And then I can still run in the road registered class under 1600 cc's, so I don't have to play with the big boys straight away. But yeah, eventually motors, I mean, ideally I'd like to put something like an SR20 or something like that in it, but motors in Australia are getting ridiculously expensive no matter what it is. I mean, motors that used to be worth $200 or $300 are now worth up to $1,000. Motor choice, I mean, I've got an L28 in there which needs a rebuild. I could put a 6-cylinder L28 in it, and that would probably be enough to make it fun and competitive, because they're 160 horsepower versus 75 horsepower I think that these things have got. So, you know, that's well over double its power just putting an L28 in it. Or, I mean, there's a dreaded Barra. Well, it's not dreaded, a lot of people like them, but you know, I never said I would, but they're the cheapest option at the moment. But you know, trying to keep it so I don't have to cut the firewall up too much, so I'm thinking maybe a V6 Commodore motor, which is like the V6 Buick in America. Yeah, that's just for compactness, but ideally my ideal goal would be an LS. That would be far more than this thing would ever need as far as power wise. Then you got to worry about transmission as well. I mean, manual cars, they're pretty rare in like Commodores and things like that. Now, you know, most of them are automatics. I mean, I could run an automatic because there was a guy running last week with an automatic and he was cutting some really good times. I just have to manualize it. So yeah, that's decisions on motors. You can't run the little J15 forever. It's going to shit itself one day. I mean, they're only a 3-bearing crank, so I'll give it a pretty hard time out there. I don't want to spend too much money on this motor to develop it any further, so you know, I might be happy with the L16 once I put that up in there, and maybe upgrade to an L20B later. See what happens. Anyway, I'm going to go play with the 240Z now. I'll see you up there. The 240Z. Last week, or a couple of weeks ago I should say, I sorted this gap here out on the front of my door, so it's time to move forward. I'm going to bolt up the rest of the remaining panels, which means the lower valance. This needs a bit of reshaping. It's a little bit straight and it should be more curved around here, and it's not fitting right. So yeah, but first I'm going to go get the bonnet hinges and find all the bolts, hood hinges for you Americans, and I'll find all the bolts and yeah, bolt it on so I can get it all fitting right. I know the gaps down the side, they're not quite right yet. I've got to sort something out with those. It's a bit narrow at the front. Right. So this gap down here is going to need some major adjustment, and that's to do with the guard, not the bonnet. I've got to take this guard back off again and see if I can move the mounting point this way a bit, because that's the new section I made for the top of the frame. So yeah, that's it's my fault why it's out, so I've got to readjust it. Yeah, fun. Wow. Yeah, when you look down this line, you can see there's a gap here, and then it closes up here where I've put the new section in. So yeah, this is where I've got to adjust it because it's pushing the guard out too far. So I've got to go get my hammer and dolly stuff, and I will sort this out. Alright, I've got this gap even all the way up. So tomorrow I'm going to fit this guard up correctly. I've got to see if I can find the bonnet latch so that I can latch it all down, and I'll also fit the wiper cowl, make sure that the gaps are right back there. Oh yeah. So I had a really good sleep last night. I slept in longer than I usually do, but I think I slept too much because I've been yawning all day. I've been extra tired. Yeah, it does that to you, I reckon, too much sleep. I was hoping to get the everything finished today as far as panel fitment goes. Obviously my valance isn't in yet, but the bonnet gap's looking really good now. Quite happy with that. Yeah, both sides pretty even, and I had to do some remedy on this gap here, even though I'd already done it. The gap actually closed up, so I had to take some of the welding off. I had to grind some down. What do you want, kitty cat? What do you want? Hey? You talking to me? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I had to grind some of the weld off to open the gap up again, and also had to move this line back even further than I did. So yeah, just goes to show, check everything before you cut. Yeah, so that's sitting in. Gap's only just big enough, but that's as long as it has a gap, I'm happy. That's not the best. It's a little bit warped and out of shape. I can see here, I don't know if you can, but there's a big hollow right there. I do have one that's better, but it's worse at the same time. This one here, I did a fix on it back when I this is off my first 240Z I had, the one of the painted lime yellow. And I did a fix on it back when I was teaching myself metalwork, and I dodged it up and I didn't know how to fix it, so I got another one and threw this one in the scrap. Unfortunately now it's badly surface rusted, but it is still better shape than the one that's on it. Now I've got the knowledge, I could fix that easier than I could fix that, but it's the I might have to get acid dip because I don't want to get it blasted because it's too thin. Okay, I'll show you where I'm up to next. Just taking my torch around here. Okay, there's not much room here, sorry guys. Right, this one here's not so pretty. I mean, it needs to go forward like that, and it's the same down here. I've got to remedy that where my finger is, it's not in the right spot, so I've got to recut it and move it back like I did with the other side. And this part here is not the right shape. I'm going to have to cut it off and move it up because this bottom line is too far down. So I'm going to cut it off, slide the whole thing up, and then re-weld it. That's one I made years ago as well, and I fitted it up to the guard without fitting it to the car, which is a big mistake. So yeah, I'll fix that, and that's the last of the panel gapping that I have to do. This whole guard's a little bit out of shape, that's why it's narrower at the bottom than what it is at the top. It's had a pretty bad bend at some stage, and I've got to fix all of that. Yeah, guards are getting expensive and harder to find these days for good ones. I mean, I think you can get brand new repo ones, but yeah, expensive. And they're not always, they don't always fit that good anyway. I'm done. I'm tired and it's Sunday. I gotta get up early in the morning, so I'm gonna go inside and relax for a while. So I'll catch you next weekend, guys. Going racing again. The forecast doesn't look good at this stage. Right up till Saturday there's rain. The forecast doesn't show Sunday when I'm racing. Hopefully that's the end of the rain, and yeah, I can race in the dry. That'd be fantastic. Right. Okay. I'll catch you next week. Racing, probably. We'll see. Catch you then, guys.